Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode something of the
7.
IT Desk. 7! My lovely co-host here, Nick, has informed me that it is 7.
It is.
I'm I'm Joe, and
And I'm Nick.
we got some stuff to tell you this week.
Yeah.
So do we have any channel news? Um,
No, I don't know.
maybe like people died on Minecraft again. I mean,
Hey,
it's possible.
I'm sure it's happened.
Some people
A guy
got
named,
a nice half an hour.
some weird guy named Nick, another weird guy named Andrew probably died. Go to them.
Yeah, here.
All right, so yeah, that's really about it. But
Yep.
so in other words, welcome to the Bad News podcast because we got a lot of bad news in the tech world. There's some
But
good
some good
stuff,
news
but
too.
yeah. But we're gonna start off with some bad news because it's pretty crucial. So this is a big one. I originally wanted our big story to be the launch of AMD Ryzen, and then some of Intel's new products as well. But this kind of took precedence when we were writing the script tonight. So breaking news from Cloudflare, which is a content delivery website. So basically, what they do is they host a lot of backends of a lot of websites and things.
Hmm.
So, in a nutshell, what happened is they had a bug that was active from about September 22nd to recently. And the largest impact, however, was between February 13th and basically what happened was there was a glitch in their HTML parser, which allows them to add tags into websites for Google Analytics and other search optimization things for search engines. And so what happened is then it was transferring data from like user accounts. So let's say you were logging into a website, it would then kind of just publicly send your password request and login information over the internet. It wouldn't really mask it, scramble it, encrypt it, do anything to it. And this ended up being cached on public search engine servers such as Google, some of Google's servers, Yahoo servers, Bing servers, etc. And so this means that basically anyone with the right know-how could create a special query that would parse the search engine servers for information and get.
That's not good.
Yes, it's bad. So what happened then was Cloudflare did state that this information has been purged from these search engine servers, and what is great, Cloudflare stopped this within an hour of their notice that they had noticed this last Saturday. And what they did was they turned off some of the features in their HTML parser that was causing these special conditions where it would not encrypt anything. And within 6 hours, they had the issue completely fixed. So good on them. But
Yeah.
it's really unknown the scope of this bug. I was about to say attack, but it really isn't an attack.
Hmm.
Or it's because it's a bug. And so it's really we're unsure like how many are affected. Worst case scenario, 4.2 million domains. Now, there's already has been some that have come in saying that they are not affected. For instance, Crunchyroll and Reddit have stated they are not affected, despite having used or are still currently using Cloudflare for some of their backend stuff. Now, some of the popular websites here, there is a full link on Reddit. Somebody has a page with some common links and also a GitHub page where people are actually compiling a master list of websites. So, just to name a couple here, websites such as Uber, Yelp, let's see here, Coinbase, Udemy, Fitbit, Zendesk, even Discord, and GitHub pages, which use Cloudflare as a backend, are potentially affected. Some other sites being 4chan.org, curse.com, and other curse sites such as minecraftforums.net, accounts.league of legends, Mobafire, One Password, which is actually a password manager. So if you're using One Password to manage your passwords, you will need to change not only your password to log into One Password Manager, but also probably any passwords you have saved on that password manager. Other sites also include Technic Pack, things, piratebay.org, Get Bootstrap, Fitbit, Pastebin, Weebly.com, Change.org, 10-Minute Mail, just loads and loads of sites are potentially affected. Like we said, we won't know the scope of which ones truly were affected, but if any site that you commonly use for personal information is possibly on one of these lists, it's better to be safe than sorry than to start changing your passwords.
Yeah.
So
Like VidMe, we should probably change our password from password 12345. It's not safe anymore.
shh, Joe, we don't talk about that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Wasn't supposed to say that.
Don't worry, I'll edit it out in post because that's
Oh,
obviously our password.
okay.
And
Let's have some more depressing news.
yes, in the train that is bad news about data security, Yahoo still cannot catch a break from their data compromise. So, a little backstory here first off. Yahoo first came out and stated that this was about 2 months ago, that about 500 million accounts were breached. And it wasn't until a little bit after that, 2 months ago, they had found out that another 1 billion accounts were affected in a breach that went unnoticed in 2013. Now, prior to Yahoo finding out a lot of this, Verizon actually recently acquired AOL and wants to acquire Yahoo and is going to kind of merge these two companies together. Well, the more and more stuff that keeps kind of coming out from Yahoo, like, oh, this isn't secure, this isn't secure. Verizon's been kind of scooting these two companies more and more apart now.
Hmm.
It's kind of interesting how Verizon's doing. Okay, I would like to stop for 1 sec. I say this is interesting a lot on this show. Did you ever notice that, Joe?
Well, it is interesting.
Yeah, it is, but I just feel like I say that way too much. Especially when like I end off a story, like it'll be interesting to see where this goes. Anyway,
But it is.
yeah, it is. Anyway, so recently some engineers over at Yahoo found that these servers were still compromised from many different breaches that have happened. And when Verizon heard wind of this, they knocked off 350 million from the price to acquire Yahoo. This would make it difficult to merge AOL with Yahoo because of this lack of security in their servers and having them basically like a Swiss cheese of a server security.
Yeah.
So disclosure caused concerns because previously all these hacks were believed to have taken place in 2013 and 2014, previous years, but now it seems as though servers are still kind of left wide open. You got a
Well, that's
Yahoo?
great.
You got a Yahoo account? Change your password. If you have a Yahoo account like from years ago and don't use it, probably don't worry about it. You
Yeah.
actually have anything personal in there. I heard about a guy who said that both of his recovery emails were so old he didn't have them anymore, so he couldn't change the password to his Yahoo account. Oh, sad day.
Yeah, I have a Yahoo account, and I changed my password. It was a while ago, like after the first big breach. So I might have to do it again now. But I had logged out at one point afterwards, and when I was logging back in, I didn't remember I changed my password. So I was like, "Is it this variation of my password or this?" Boo boo boo, and like I try so many things, and then at the end, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I changed it." So then I had to try like 10 different things I thought it could be. And then eventually I found it.
Oh, nice.
But that was a very stressful like 20 minutes trying to figure out what my password was.
Sounds
And
like it.
luckily they're not the kind of, well, I mean, luckily for me, but just a bad thing in general is it's not one of the things where if you fail enough, they're like, "Are you sure you're supposed to be doing this?"
Yeah.
But anyway, now However, some good news is we get to open up our my favorite part of the show, the Tesla part, where we talk
Yeah.
about Tesla.
And we talk about
So,
Elon Musk and all of his great stuff.
yeah. So, the first story we have about Tesla is they've released that they kind of want to, when they sell cars, they want to include insurance prices and maybe even future maintenance in the cost of the car. So you'd pay for that, and then you got it paid for down the road, or just insurance in general. They've tested this a bit in Asia, I guess. They don't really have a whole lot of like statistics on that because I think it's still a newer thing. But they're doing this because with Teslas, with their autopilot thing, and just them like the AI being able to stop the car from crashing sometimes, their accidents have gone down, and so they want insurance prices to like reflect that. And so if they sell insurance with it, they could potentially get it for like cheaper costs. So I think
Nice.
that's what I understand of the story. And so that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you're paying more at the beginning, but then you might be paying less down the road.
That's a good point actually, and it's more of a convenience thing because you're paying off your car and your insurance all at once.
Yeah. And so it's also a more streamlined, simplified process.
That's cool. Good on
Yeah.
them.
Also in Tesla news is their gigafactories where they build like batteries for their cars and other stuff, right? Yeah, so they've in a shareholder letter that went out, it was talking about how they're finalizing locations on potentially three more gigafactories. They currently have two, one in Reno, Nevada, and the other in Buffalo, New York. The one in Reno is up and running and distributing batteries. The one in Buffalo is just about ready and will probably come online soon. But then they also have the Solar City that they purchased last year, which they're gearing up to produce like solar panels to help expand solar power. So that's cool. Just them using lots of like electric power for cars and other things, and just trying to cut down on pollution and stuff. So that's cool.
Yeah, go them.
That is all for our Tesla news of the week.
All right. Well,
Till next time.
tune in next time. See the latest news on Tesla. It was really great. Like when we started the Tesla section, I thought like, oh man, we're probably gonna have like so there isn't anything like super noteworthy or anything, but it's been
So
pretty good.
far, really consistent.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's the next story you want to tell me about?
All right. So, Snapchat, they're back in the news again. I think last time they were in the news, we were talking about them going public with their company on the stock trade.
Yeah.
Well, now recently, the Snapchat spectacles are now for sale online. So you'll no longer need to travel all the way to New York or California, find a Snapbot, little vending machines where they dispense the glasses out. So now you
Yeah.
can purchase them online for 129 bucks. So you're not really saving any money, but I mean, I guess you are unless you were like actually flying out to one of those areas.
Mhm.
But anyway, yeah, you can buy them online now. 192. You can get them at spectacles.com or is it .org? I'm not sure, but search it up on Google, DuckDuckGo, Yahoo, Bing, whatever. You'll find them. They're pretty obvious. So if you're looking for something to replace the void in your heart that was Google Glass, these may be the right step in the right direction for
Yeah. Like that's just one thing that kind of confused me though. Like, why a vending machine for glasses?
you. Well, apparently in like I don't really know how to describe it. Like some areas, um, like vending machines are popular. Like I actually did see at a mall, in Indiana. Um, they had like a vending machine you could buy like iPods and tablets out of.
Really?
Yeah, it's like you punch it in, you swipe your credit card or you put cash
Yeah.
in even, and and then it like comes out. Machine. It's interesting, but I mean, I guess that's kind of the model they're going for with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I know that those are like pretty big in Japan and then probably in like South Korea,
Yeah,
maybe. But like the vending machines just see that's where food and drinks of an unhealthy variety go.
yeah. It's like that's how we've like kind of been trained what vending machines how they are.
Yeah.
don't typically buy cell phones and stuff from a vending machine.
But I mean, hey, if you wanted to wait in line and get some weird glasses that do Snapchat type things, well, hey, you no longer have to go to a vending machine.
And if you really want to show off how much of an addict you are to the dancing yellow ghost, then go right ahead.
Yeah. But so when you order these online, you know one way that they could be arriving to you in the future?
How?
So UPS is testing out their drone stuff in order to see if, drones can be effective delivery things. So what they did is they have like a special UPS truck and it has a roof, and the roof can like retract and open up, and then like they have the drones like under that, and they put in a package. Like I think it was a 10-pound limit, so nothing too big yet, but you know, and this drone called the horsefly because you know horsefly, that's the kind of thing you want delivering your stuff to you.
Yeah.
It flies up and delivers it to a house. Meanwhile, the truck kind of drives on to its next stop, and then the drone, because it doesn't have like stuff in the way, it flies back and then will land back in the truck, and the next delivery can be made or whatever.
That's cool.
So yeah, so like as of right now, this would be mostly be useful in like rural places, and then like cities that wouldn't really benefit. But I mean, if the drones can be made more powerful and can carry heavier stuff, and you can have more of them on a single truck, you could potentially have like several drones going out delivering packages while you're just kind of driving down the street.
Yeah.
So I mean, in the future, that could potentially be useful.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
they had some videos of it though, and there were a couple hiccups. Like the roof opened up as normal, but the drone like it got caught and like flipped to the side and then back into its original position, and then the roof started to close in on it, and like you can hear people in the background like no 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 no. So it's not perfect, but progress.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I know. I actually I gave a speech in my speech class on drones, and one of the things was like when we did our speeches, we always had the question and answer time at the end for the class and stuff. And my teacher actually asked, he said, I don't see this working around here because, as you know, you've been here up to Indiana, um,
Hmm.
and we live in the middle of cornfield nowhere.
Hmm.
So, uh, he had one of his questions was like, I can't really see this catching on. Is there any location where this really would benefit from drone delivery? He was asking specifically about like Domino's pizza deliveries, as I mentioned that in
Hmm.
my speech, which they had been testing out in other countries, and that's due to more that like restrictions on drones are less are more lax in other countries than they are here in America. Because for instance, here in
Hmm.
America, um, if your drone has to be in direct eyesight with you at all times legally, which makes delivery services like this a bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
Um, so anyway, he had mentioned that like where would that benefit at? And the only thing I could really think was like in really busy cities where traffic is an issue and things, fast deliveries like food and stuff will
Hmm.
definitely benefit. But yeah, regardless, I think it's definitely see
Yeah.
drones and stuff.
Yeah, and I think it'll be really interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah. All right. So, did you say that specifically?
Yeah,
Thanks.
a little bit.
Nice. All right. So, up next in some not really sad news. Well, actually, yeah, sad news, but more just bizarre news in general. But an Nvidia fan murders another fan over an argument on GPU coolers. I wish I could make this up, but these were two Russians. They got into a fight over AMD and Nvidia. Not specifically like the cards being better than others, more specifically with their cooler design. And
So,
so, what'd you say?
so I was about to say, like, so it's not even, oh, my brand's better than your brand. It's like this specific part of my brand is better than the specific part of your brand.
Yeah. So
Uh,
it's fanboyism at its worst. And so
yeah.
the Nvidia guy kills his friend while drunk from the other claiming that AMD is better. He ended up being sentenced to 9.5 years, and this happened actually a year ago, but the sentence was just sentenced now.
Yeah.
That's the right way to phrase that, right?
Probably.
All
I'm
right.
not a lawyer.
Ah, never mind. That's why we're doing this show.
Yep.
All right. So now some big news in the terms of AMD. Hopefully you don't murder your friend over it. But Ryzen was just launched. Well, not launched.
Woo!
Not necessarily launched, but it's official. It's definitely happening now, and you can now pre-order it online. So the way AMD's structuring this is you can pre-order the Ryzen 7 line. We'll get to the lines here in a second. You can pre-order it right now, and they will be on sale officially March 2nd. So that's right around the corner, which is awesome. So if you're looking to,
They're like, we gotta beat the Switch. We gotta beat the Switch
oh my
now.
god, yeah, you're right. I forgot about the Switch. I legitimately had it. I legitimately marked it on my calendar on my phone when the Switch was coming out. Not that I'm gonna get one day one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Eventually.
eventually down the line, once the games start flowing out a little bit more and stuff, and
If it
see,
proves to be better than the Wii U, which, I mean, it's gonna have to try really hard not to be.
yeah, you're gonna have to try. But I mean, there's the Vita. If you can do better than the Vita and the Wii U together, then I mean, you've got a pretty good console.
Yeah.
All right, so
Do you mean 3DS or like what do you mean Vita? I mean, I know there's PlayStation Vita.
yeah,
I'm not quite clear on what you're saying.
yeah, like I mean, if Nintendo can do better than the PlayStation Vita, I'm just saying in general. Like, I mean, I know that's not their product, but like,
Yeah.
it was
Wait,
bad.
like are you like yeah? Okay, it was bad. Okay, see, that's just the part I wasn't clear on. Now that I
Yeah, yeah,
understand that, that's good. Okay,
yeah. All right. So AMD.
carry on.
So they got three lines coming out. So right now, the Ryzen 7, which is the high end, is the current one you can pre-order. But later, however, the Ryzen 5 will be launched, which Ryzen 5 is the mid-range sort of, right in the middle of the road. A nice balance of affordability and performance. And then you got Ryzen 3, which is more for the financially conscious consumer. Going to be a little bit more on the budget line, but still got pretty good performance in it. And that's also as well going to be released a little bit later. Now, right now we have three CPUs that we know, or well, that are on sale. We have the Ryzen 7 1700. Now it comes in 8 cores, 16 threads, so it's an octa-core, 3.0 gigahertz with a 3.7 turbo, and that will cost you $329. You also have the Ryzen 7 1700X, 8 core 16 thread, 3.4 gigahertz, 3.8 turbo at 400. And you also have the 1800X, which is the top of the line high end Ryzen 7. Again, 8 cores, 16 threads, 3.6 base, 4.0 gigahertz turbo. And I've heard reports that these can be overclocked past 5 gigahertz, which is pretty insane. And one last little tidbit about it. So when AMD first kind of unveiled the Zen architecture, they were saying how they wanted 40% more instructions per tick on the CPU compared to their previous generation. Which it may seem like that's a lofty goal, but at the same time, their old CPUs were fairly outdated, so it did prove a bit easy. But at the same time, AMD did talk a lot that this was a very large jump in performance. Well, they ended up beating their goal in terms of engineering, and these CPUs now do 52% more instructions per clock than the old CPU. So, go them.
Indeed.
Alright, and more news in CPUs, this time over at Team Blue. Intel. Now, if you ever owned a netbook back in pre-2000, not pre, what am I talking about? In several years ago, back when netbooks were all the rage, little tiny computers, little tiny keyboards on them and stuff. Um,
Mhm.
Netbooks were all the rage, and chances are they were probably using an Intel Atom CPU. Well, no longer are the Atom CPU just limited to cheap little notebooks. Just get on the internet and surf Facebook and play a little Farmville. Now the Atom chips have been supercharged, and you can now get Atom chips up to 16 cores, and mainly they're going to be provided in a very small form factor environment, such as storage arrays inside of networking equipment and different Internet of Things IoT devices. And they also now feature a lot of features found mostly in server chips, including things like networking, virtualization, and different error correcting features. So basically, what this means is that a lot of things that you would really need on like a several $1,000 Xeon processor are coming over to these lower end, cheaper CPUs. Now that doesn't mean you're going to get like the $1,700 performance that is in a Xeon. You're just getting some of those advanced features.
Mhm.
And what that basically then means is you can cram a whole lot of features into smaller spaces that are also cheaper. But yeah, I don't really know where this will be like applied very soon, but we shall
But
see.
hey, could be used.
Yeah, I mean, hey, new features for less money, so that's pretty good.
Mhm. So now on some more AI news. An MIT PhD student designed an
Acronyms.
AI named Philip, and now Philip he plays Super Smash Brothers Melee, and so they programmed the bot to use Captain Falcon, and like first they played it against a few matches of like the game's regular AI, and then they made it like face itself, and they just left it doing that for like 2 weeks. And then at a like melee tournament that was going on, some of the best like highest ranking melee players in the world faced off against him, and the AI won more times than it lost against all of them,
Hmm.
because during its time fighting itself it had learned from its mistakes and like fought itself better, which in turn caused it to keep like progressing like that.
Okay.
And because of course the AI has a much faster reaction time. From what I've read, humans have an average of like 200 milliseconds versus the AI's, which has 32. So it is significantly faster to react. And so it was using being able to do all these moves, and because of it being like faster, it is able to do things that normal players just generally like they don't have the time to react to do, and it's able to beat them that way. Although, like one story they said was that one person found a way to kind of glitch it, where if you cower in the corner of the map, the AI doesn't know what to do with you, so it just kind of walks off the edge and kills itself.
Well, that's pretty interesting.
But yeah, I mean, AI keeps getting better at video games. It's gonna beat us.
Yeah, I know. Uh, with machine learning and stuff, it's really interesting how much it can learn in short amounts of time.
Yeah.
Uh, are you familiar with the guy on YouTube, Seth Bling?
No.
Okay, so what he does is he does a lot of like really crazy projects in Minecraft that don't use any mods. They're only done with redstone. Like I think
Hmm.
one of his more recent things he did was uh he did an Atari 2600 emulator in Minecraft. Crazy. Um
Whoa.
yeah, all I mean this is all done, normal like with command blocks. The other thing he did was he made a camera, so it would make a 2D version of whatever like a scene was out of blocks. Um, there's a lot of other things he's done, but but he also did some other stuff too outside of Minecraft, so like setting world records for speedrunning and glitching. Super Mario World. He programmed Flappy Bird into Super Mario World on an actual Nintendo 60 or Super Nintendo.
Wow.
But anyway, one of the things he did is he programmed a little machine learning program, and it learned from its mistakes how to beat a level in Super Mario World on its own.
Mhm.
And it was really cool. He had a video kind of explaining how it went from, it first was like, pressing every key, trying to figure out on the keyboard, figure out what it did in the game, and then it got to a point where like, okay, I can run left, and then it died, and then it realized, okay, I can't go that way. I can't do just that. So then it learned it had to like push other keys to avoid things, and then it learned different things too. And he had like a graph showing like how it like each time it learned something new, and there was a couple times where it like got into a slump and didn't really learn anything new, but then it usually got out of that. It's
Mhm.
really interesting machine learning to see how it can evolve.
Yeah,
All right, shall I finish this off with our last story here?
I do believe so.
All right. So, last but not least, we didn't leave out Team Green NVIDIA, and they are doing a thing. So they had a pretty cool countdown on their website, and if you go to it, and it says that it's almost time. Very closely, you'll see that the TI in the word time is actually bolded slightly. So what could it possibly be? Who knows? But if you look inside the source code of the website, spoiler alert, a lot of the code titles is GTX 1080 Ti reveal. So
Yeah.
whether this was just a mistake on Nvidia's PR part, or if this was actually just a clever marketing thing, it's up for debate. But regardless, the 1080 Ti is on its way here. Whether you're excited or not about that, I'll leave that up to you. I mean,
Mhm.
the 1080 was a great card, so we'll have to see how good the 1080 Ti stacks up against that. And what we do know is that it will most likely be shown off at GDC Game Developer Conference this 2017. So
And
get
hey,
excited.
Nvidia, if you want us to test it out, just send us some.
Yeah,
We'll review them. We'll like them.
look us up.
But yeah,
We'll run some benchmarks on them, test them out. Same goes for you,
yeah,
AMD and Intel.
yeah. Just send us
Course.
all kinds of computer parts. We'll take them.
Just hook
But
us
yeah,
up.
as of right now, the timer has 3 days, 21 hours, 14 minutes, and 35 seconds. So it'll be a bit different when it goes live for you guys, but we're getting close.
Yeah. There you go, everybody. Got a lot of new products to expect and a lot of security things. So make sure you change your passwords, everybody, and get excited because driverless cars, artificial intelligence, new CPUs, and new graphics cards,
Yep,
and Tesla insurance.
and Tesla
Sure,
insurance.
your beautiful electric car.
And you know what else they have to be excited for?
What?
Every week we have a tech and gaming podcast on LyteByte Studios, and we have a gaming
Absolutely.
channel, LyteByte Basement. You can subscribe and follow them on YouTube and VidMe respectively. You can like and upvote all our stuff. You could go check out our Twitter or our website or any of the other fabulous things we have.
Be sure to check out our gaming podcast every week as well.
Yeah,
Um,
join
Definitely,
Discord.
yes, join our fan Discord, chat with us, suggest news stories, and whatever else you feel you'd like to communicate with us. Please join. We're lonely.
Hmm.
Also, check out our website as well. I don't know if you mentioned that, Joe. But yeah,
I think I did.
okay. Check out our website, lightbytestudios.com. And yeah, I think that's everything.
Yeah. So I'll see you tomorrow on the gaming one, and Nick will see you next week on the next tech one. Unless you go to our awesome gaming channel, where you might see some more of us.
I actually don't know if I'm on the gaming channel yet. I don't think I have. There's currently I'm not.
Yeah, but I'm sure you have some scheduled upload.
Yeah, maybe. I don't really know.
Oh, we got Blood and Bacon. Well, that was yesterday, but Blood
Yeah.
and Bacon, or that was actually today, and it had you. So
Oh, was it uploaded yet?
it was uploaded today.
Oh,
That's why
cool.
we had.
So it is
Yeah,
uploaded.
yeah. So you're there,
Cool.
and there was Skyblocks last week.
Oh yeah,
So
Skyblocks. I completely
you've
forgot
been
about that.
there.
Yeah. All
But
right, I've just like completely ignored like everything we've done.
yeah, and this was some not so full. This was quite shameful self promotion, but it's cool.
Yeah,
So we'll see you later.
yeah. Catch you all next video.
Bye bye.